thank you very much. So Mayor of the Royal Borough of Windsor and Maidenhead, Councillor John Story, ladies, gentlemen, colleagues, students who are still with us at the back. My name is Sean FURNESS. I'm the head teacher at the Windsor Boys School, and I just wanted to take a moment to welcome you here this afternoon and say thank you ever so much for coming along. We are really, really excited about all of the projects that are going to be going on in the next couple of months, and I'm sure I speak on behalf of all of the schools and all of the people present in that regard. It's a really unique opportunity, and we've just been talking about how this is going to be really impactful for the community and also for the students, which is obviously what we are all about. So I'm not going to say too much tonight. I will say thank you ever so much to the students who are going around with the food that was all cooked by your fair hands as well. So perhaps a round of applause for the students. And I'm going to pass over to Graham Barker, who we were just discussing your job title. I may get this wrong, apologies. The Chair of the Windsor Platinum Jubilee Steering Committee, to tell you a little bit more. So enjoy your afternoon. Thank you very much.
Yeah, round of applause. Thank you very much, Sean. Yes, my name's Graham Barker, and I have the enormous pleasure of chairing the Windsor Platinum Jubilee Committee. A group of us got together in the middle of last year and decided we wanted to do something very special for this momentous anniversary in Windsor and do as much as we could for the community. There's a number of the very talented team here this afternoon: Councillor Rayner, Chris Aiken, Helen Sandham, Lisa Hunter, and of course the very, very talented James Manwaring. So we've all got different ideas, and we want your ideas. We want to hear your ideas today about what you would like to see, to celebrate this. And it's not once in a lifetime. This is a once in a several lifetimes anniversary. It is quite incredible. And we're in Windsor. How lucky are we? So there's lots of energy around. Congratulations, Chris, on selling out the Windsor and Eton Choral Society concert in March. You cannot get a ticket for that now. I'm sorry, it's sold out. It's quite extraordinary. And lots and lots of exciting things happen. A very, very important part of what is happening this year is happening with schools and the students in schools in this area. So thank you for being here. It's really important. And as I say, we want to hear your ideas. Already, we have raised a substantial sum of money to fund. Sorry, I see Martin Denny there. I've just welcome, Martin. We've raised a substantial sum of money to help fund the acquisition, the purchase of musical instruments for students in schools in this area. And so that is an example of something that's not just for this year, it's going on into the future. And again, I know it's part of James's vision to bring everybody together, not just this year, but going on into the future. And that is a very important part of what we do. So have a look at our website if you haven't already, Windsor Platinum Jubilee. There's all sorts of things on there. It's getting huge interest, not only from people in this country, in this county, but from other countries as well. Everybody's interested in what is going on in Windsor, and we really, really hope that you will play your part in making this the most incredible year in and around Windsor. And now it's my huge pleasure to introduce the Mayor of the Royal Borough of Windsor and Maidenhead, Councillor John Story.
Hello everyone, and good afternoon. Now, long before most of you were born and long before your parents were born, I was a pupil here at this school. And and I came here 2 years after the coronation, and my first year, aged 11, was particularly significant because during that year I did come across the Queen. Let me tell you what happened. In the 1950s, a popular pastime for 11-year-old young lads was to go fishing in Windsor Park. And one afternoon I was fishing with my friend in Johnson's Pond, close to Blackness Gate, and two people rode towards us on horses. Now, we were used to seeing people on horses. They rode towards us and they rode away again very quickly. But these two stopped. And we looked up and they looked down at us, and the man said in a rather severe voice, "Have you two got fishing permits?" And now you have to remember that in the 1950s, young lads were terrified of anyone in authority, whether it was your teacher, whether it was any adult. So we immediately went into panic mode, looking through our bags and pockets and looked for these fishing permits. And while we were doing that, the lady said, "Oh, come on, Philip, don't cause trouble, let's go." Now, from that moment onwards, I've always had a very soft spot for the Queen. So it's a particular privilege to be here today. Now, as everyone knows, the Queen has had an incredibly close association with Windsor. She went to the Royal Lodge, she lived at the Royal Lodge in the early part of her life. She went to the Royal School in the park. In 1940, she moved into the castle. In fact, during 1940, she made her first radio broadcast from the castle to the children of the Empire. And since then, she has been here an awful lot. Every year, the Easter Court is here for a month. But apart from that, she comes here frequently for Ascot Week and the horse show and weekends and so on. She really spends a great deal of time here. And for the last 2 years, of course, she's been here almost permanently. And I'm not sure, but I wouldn't be at all surprised if she regards Windsor as a place of refuge. It certainly was in the 1940s. 1940, it was a very difficult time for Britain. And the last 2 years has been a difficult time as well. So, as I said, I wouldn't be at all surprised if she were here today, she would say she regards it as a place of refuge. She certainly said in her speeches that when she comes to Windsor, she regards it as home. Buckingham Palace is the office, Windsor is her home. And that's why I'm particularly pleased that Graham and your committee, you've arranged this week at the end of May for Platinum Jubilee Schools Week. And that's a fantastic idea, and congratulations to you and Samantha and everybody else involved with it. Now, I'm going to do something that's extremely dangerous here because I've got some ideas myself. Now, I am the least creative person you could wish to come across. And I shan't feel at all offended if these ideas are forgotten about and disappear into the mists of time. But I thought I would just tell you what they are, and you can take them for what they're worth. I've got 3 ideas. The first one is for the young people of Windsor to do something based on that broadcast that the Queen made in 1940. And the proposal is, why don't you think about doing a 15-minute programme for the BBC's World Service? Now, instead of addressing the people in the Empire, the children in the Empire, you'd be addressing the young people all over the world. Why not make a 15-minute programme and maybe interview local people, asking them what their views are about the Platinum Jubilee and how they remember it, and maybe even the Duke and Duchess of Cambridge might be willing to be interviewed as well for it. So a 15-minute programme is idea number 1, to go out during Schools Week. Idea number 2 is very different. Idea number 2 is that the statue of Queen Victoria at the bottom of Castle Hill, it was built in 1878 to commemorate Queen Victoria's Golden Jubilee. And it was paid for by the people of Windsor. And inside that statue is I suppose you call it a time capsule, things of that era, things of that age. And my second idea is that Graham is building a water fountain, not personally, but he's arranging for a water fountain to be built. And why not have a time capsule as part of that? You know, people can write they can reminisce, and they can put everything today will be on memory sticks and digitalized, I'm sure. But nonetheless, you can put a lot in a time capsule, which is idea number 2. And my third idea, and then I'll stop, is that, as the mayor, I'd very much like to welcome 70 primary school children to a Platinum Jubilee Christmas party in the Guildhall on the Monday and Tuesday of that week. And that's an offer which I make. One advantage of the mayor being involved is that he or she is free, so it doesn't cost anything. And also, I'm very willing for the Guildhall to be used without any charge at all. But I will want some help in organising it, the party, and also, of course, selecting the 70 children. So those are my 3 ideas. Thank you for the invitation today, Graham, and thank you for the great work you're doing. Nice seeing you all. Thank you.
if we haven't met, my name's James Manwaring. I am the Director of Music for Windsor Learning Partnership, which is a group of schools in Windsor. And I'm also on the Platinum Jubilee Committee organising these events. And I was asked to do that probably last January, I think, was it? Or we were in lockdown anyway, when we were all at home. And so I had a Zoom call with Samantha and Graham, and I was asked if I had any ideas. If you know me, I'm full of ideas, and some of them are good ones, some of them aren't. But I had lots of ideas, and I was really excited to take on this role. And I guess my role is to think, how can schools get involved in the Platinum Jubilee? And since then, we've been plotting and scheming and coming up with things, but obviously it's been a slightly unusual couple of years, and I was really keen to have a launch, get everybody in the room that works in education and say, right, what are we going to do? Here's a few of my ideas, but what do you want to do? Because you represent education in this area. And I'm not sure when this last happened, when we had all the head teachers and counsellors and mayor in the same space at the same time to really think about education, and what better time to do that. And this afternoon really is about me sharing with you some ideas and then telling you how you can get involved, and then sending you away full of canapes, of which there are many, many left. Then it's down to you really to get in touch with us and to say, yes, this is what we want to do. But needless to say, it's all about the young people, and it's all about education. And I guess my first thought was having a schools week would be a really good idea, because school is a great place to be. However, sometimes it can be quite tough, and the last couple of years have been difficult. It can sometimes be focused on, rightfully so, on exams and on the kind of the day-to-day lessons. And wouldn't it be nice if we had a week where we could maybe focus on something a little bit different? And wouldn't it be nice if that was across all of this area? So we're going to have a schools week just before the May half term, 23rd of May. During that week, we just want loads of stuff to happen. My real vision for it is that if we go to any school in Windsor, college, any of the establishments that are represented here, that we'd see Jubilee stuff happening. That you might come into, you might go to Oakfield First School and find that there's some students from Windsor Girls School there delivering history lessons. Or you might come into Windsor Boys School and there'd be students from a younger school delivering a lesson to some older students. That we'd have concerts, we'd have events all throughout the week, maybe some sports fixtures and that kind of thing. So this afternoon is really about me sharing those things with you and also creating a bit of a buzz, which hopefully we have created. And Graham mentioned earlier the musical instruments, which is really exciting. We've got a really nice chunk of money where we can be able to buy enough instruments to be able to spread them across schools in Windsor and really make a difference. So I'm going to kind of share with you some of the initial ideas, tell you what you can get involved in, and then send you on your way, and hope that you then get in touch with me and get in touch with us and get really excited about it and get your students excited as well. And also part of this is that I'd love to do this every year. I love things like that. I like doing the same thing every year because it makes things easy. But wouldn't it be great if a real legacy from the Jubilee was that in 100 years' time there's still a schools week happening, and that they talk about some chap called James Manwaring who came up with the idea. That would be lovely, wouldn't it? If I went down in history as coming up with this great idea. That's all I ask. But seriously, wouldn't it be wonderful if every year we got to bring students together? Wouldn't that be inspiring for all of us? So that's what I hope, and hopefully we'll be able to do that. But we'll worry about this year first, and then we can start to think about next year. We're going to have another musical performance, and hopefully Annie is here and ready, who is going to sing a wonderful song from the musical Guys and Dolls called Adelaide's Lament, which is all about kind of having a cold, which is kind of slightly fitting with what we've been going through in the last couple of years.
With psychosomatic symptoms, difficult to endure, affecting the upper respiratory tract. In other words, just from waiting around for that plain little band of gold, a person can develop a cold. You can spray her wherever you figure the streptococci lurk. You can give her a shot for whatever she's got, but it just won't work. If she's tired of getting the fisheye from the hotel clerk, a person can develop a cold. It says here, the female remaining single, just in the legal sense, shows a neurotic tendency, C note, No, there we go, very clever. Chronic organic syndromes, toxic or hypertense, involving the eye, the ear, the nose, and throat. In other words, just from worrying whether the wedding is on or off, a person can develop a cough. You can feed her all day with the vitamin A and the bromo fizz, but the medicine never gets anywhere near where the trouble is. If she's tired of getting a name for herself and the name ain't his, a person can develop a cough. And furthermore, just from stalling and stalling and stalling the wedding to rib, a person can develop a grip. When they get on the train for Niagara, she can hear church bells chime. The compartment is air conditioned and the mood sublime. Then they get off at Saratoga for the 14th time. A person can develop a grip, a post-nasal drip. With the wheezes and the sneezes and the sinus that's really the pip. From lack of community property and a feeling she's getting too old, a person can develop a big bad cold. Achoo!
Thank you very much, Annie. Last week, we pulled together some students from the boys' school and Windsor Girls' School and Eton College to just see what ideas they had. Just quick ideas, but also like kind of dreaming, like visionary ideas for what could we do in a week if you were given, you know, an endless budget and endless time. And they spent a few hours just chatting, just to get those ideas rolling. And they came up with lots. I have kind of put them all on a list, and it's fairly small, I know. However, lots and lots of really interesting ideas. Fashion show, 70 years of fashion, designing a royal menu, fish and chips. I just think they were getting hungry at that point. Having a chess tournament, inter-schools quiz, a big picnic, a tennis tournament, repainting a telephone box. I'm not sure how we would do that. Five-a-side tournament, fireworks. So many ideas that they came up with. And I show you this list and I'll circulate this because this might just give you some ideas for your school. Because I guess what I'm envisioning for the week is that we can't do everything together, as fun as that would be. We can do some things together, which I'll mention, but in your individual institutions, you will be able to have activities and events happening during that week. And we want you to tell us about them so we can maybe come and visit. We can let people know what's going on, and we can also share those ideas with other schools. And we've got a website where we want to promote all of those things. And it might be that some of the ideas you come up with, we think, wow, that would be brilliant for other schools, and we might be able to support you with that. We might be able to get you some financial support, or we might be able to help you promote what you're doing. And so it's really important that you share with us your ideas. But of course, every school's different, and you will know what your students will want to do and what you will want to do. And so these are a few ideas. What I really liked was the focus on the community, so actually getting out and doing some litter picking, which doesn't sound particularly glamorous, but they came up with that. And I know Windsor Girls' School have recently just started that with a kind of an eco committee and looking at that, which is fantastic. So the students want to go out and make a difference, and going into care homes and other kind of anywhere around the area where people might not be able to get out and about and see what's going on. So I will share that list with you, but it's already really exciting. Some of the ideas, though, for that week, one of the first ideas I had was it'd be great to just have a dinner where we get students to cook the food, serve the food, and where we celebrate education. And so on Monday the 23rd of May, Eton College are having a banquet. It's going to be a bit of an invite only, I'm afraid, so it's going to be the hottest ticket in town, but it's going to be a banquet to celebrate education. And this is this idea that every year we could then have a banquet where the students are cooking the food, and our chef here, Chef Kev, who I don't know whether he's here, but who's helped with the canopies today. He's going to be working with the students on that week. We also have a very well-known chef, which I think I'm allowed to say, Alain Roux, who's a Michelin star chef. He has a couple of establishments in Bray. I can't say I've been there myself, but I'm happy to go and sample the food with you, Graham, anytime. So Alain Roux is going to come and work with the students, and he knows a thing or two about restaurants and cooking. And then we're going to have some speeches, and we're just going to kind of celebrate education in a really positive way. We're also, I've commissioned a songwriter to write a song for the Windsor schools. Of course, my first thought was, well, let's get, Elton John or Andrew Lloyd Webber to do this, but that's slightly trickier to do. And actually, what we wanted was someone who knows schools and children who does this. So I've commissioned a songwriter called Emily who writes songs for children and young people. She works for an organisation called Sing Up, and she's also done this before. She's worked with towns to write songs to celebrate what they're doing. And so she's going to be coming in and working with students. Now, there's quite a tight turnaround on this, and so after half term, I'm going to be asking for you to nominate 4 students from years 6 to 9 to come to Windsor Castle and spend the day with Emily and myself, and we're going to write a song, which is going to be great. She said to me, can you think of a good place to write a song about Windsor? And I said, Windsor Castle. And she said, do you reckon you can get us in there? And I met with Richard and Gordon up at the castle last week, and they're going to provide us with some space there. So we're going to be writing a song in the castle, and it's going to be really exciting. And that song will then be ready for us all to learn, all of the students in all of the schools, to then perform at any moment. At the drop of a hat, we might want to perform this song to anybody. That's going to be really exciting. And I've also been asking around about where we might be able to record the song. So we're hopefully going to maybe even record it at St George's. But I'm also asking Abbey Road if they fancy giving us an afternoon. I've just got to try and get them to waiver their £15,000 fee for recording a song. But anyway, if there's anyone who's going to do it, hopefully it's me. I'll try anyway. So we're having a song written, which is going to be really exciting. Another idea for a competition actually came from the education guys up at Windsor Castle. You can see a picture here. It's black and white. It's not very clear, I know, but it's a ceremonial arch that's over the Queen Victoria statue there. And we've had this idea of schools actually designing ceremonial arches. We want this to be about all aspects of education, not just students that are happy to stand up and sing or play sport or cook, but maybe students that are really good at drawing, really good artists, that they can get involved in this. And so we're going to get some more details around about that to you, but maybe designing some arches would be really good for your students to do. And we've got some pictures and things we can show you. And we're also going to have some concerts during Schools Week. I'm obviously a music teacher, so concert is something I love to do. And we're going to have 2 concerts, one for younger students on Thursday the 26th of May, and then one for the older students. I'd love to get all of them together in one place, and I'm still working on that. But we're definitely going to have concerts that week, and we want all schools, all institutions, everybody that we can represented. And of course, we'll sing that Jubilee song that we're having written. Who knows, we might get it to number 1. You never know. It will be really exciting. And so that concert will involve all ages, all schools, and should be fantastic. So the next steps, well, obviously it's over to you, really, in terms of getting ideas and getting in touch with us. We want to hear from you. We want to know what you'd love to do for your school, but we want to know if you've got any ideas for all of the schools. Maybe you've got a particular skill, a hobby. Maybe you've always been dreaming of putting on something, or maybe you've written a play about the life of the Queen and you've never told anyone about it. Maybe you love writing poetry. Maybe you're really into playing chess. That was one of the ideas the students came up with, saying, do you reckon chess fits in? And I said, well, it's got some royal links, and children don't all know how to play chess, so maybe that'd be something for quieter students that want to learn a new board game. But anything that you're interested in, we want to know. After this event, we'll be sending around an email with basically a form for you to fill in. And you'll be able to submit your ideas to us, and I'll be looking at them with students and the committee. And we'll be seeing, actually, are there any ideas here that we think, wow, this would be amazing if all of the schools were doing this? And also, if you've got a designated member of staff that could liaise with us. And one of my worst traits is delegating. I think I can do everything because I think I'm brilliant at everything, but I'm not. And lots of lovely people have told me that over the years, and I'm almost getting to grips with the idea of delegating, which is great. So if you've got a designated member of staff that can be the go-to person in your school, that would be fantastic, and we'll be able to then link up with them. One thing we'd really love to do, and we're working with the castle at the moment, and also Fiona, who's a teacher from Windsor Boys School, at getting students into Windsor Castle as much as possible. Some young people have never been in the castle. I won't ask for a show of hands if you've never been in the castle before, but too many students haven't been. What better week to get them in? So having staff that we can liaise with for that would be fantastic. So submitting your ideas is how we're going to move forward, and we're going to send you a link, and we need these ideas by the 2nd of March, which isn't very long away. However, sometimes it's good to get quick ideas and not have a drawn-out process. These ideas will then be taken to the planning committee, and then also the students that are going to be meeting at Eton College and spending a day there in their research centre looking at how they can make these ideas happen. So that's going to be the date, so you've got kind of half term to think about it, which we all need desperately, and then you can submit your ideas. These are my contact details, and also Lisa over here, who's working with me on the schools programme, and is helping to pull things together, and you will have had an email from her. And so if you've got any questions and you need to ask anything, then please do email us, and we will be emailing all of you. If you don't think we have your email, then please see Lisa, who's over there with a clipboard, and she will take your email and your name. It'd be lovely to know that you've been here this evening, so we can get in touch with you. So that's kind of it, really. That's the vision that I've had and I've been thinking about a lot, and I'm really excited about this Schools Week. I think it's going to be great for the young people, I think it's going to be great for the schools, and it's going to be great for Windsor. And if we all get behind it and we can get all of our students working together, I think that will be really exciting. And then hopefully we can have this as a lasting legacy. Every year we can put on events and collaborate across schools. What I've noticed is when you get students in a room, it doesn't matter what school they went to, it doesn't matter what's been going on in their day, they love working together. They love coming up with ideas, and it's really exciting to see. I get to work across first, middle and upper schools in Windsor, and it's just wonderful. And I'm really excited about pulling this together. But I can't do it on my own. I need all of your support. And I hope that you'll be able to come along to the concerts, come along to the events, and all of the other things that are happening on the Platinum Jubilee weekend itself, which is in the half term the following week. So I'm not going to read through this whole list of thanks. There's lots of people to thank this evening. The students, thank you to Chef Kev, our performers, Johnny and Annie. I think we can give them another round of applause. Thank you to all of my fellow committee members, Lisa, for helping to organise this. Thank you to yourself, Mayor of RBWM, Councillor John Story, for coming along this evening. Graham Barker for chairing the committee and being a real support to me. And of course, thank you to all of you that have come along to this. It's wonderful to get all of you in the same room. Please now do eat some of those canapes that are at the back. There are a lot of them, so if you want, don't worry, if we see you going out with a tray, we won't mind. But please do have your Valentine's Day canapes at the back. But thank you so much for coming along, and I really look forward to hearing from you, really look forward to working with you in that Schools Week, and I hope you have a lovely rest of the week and a lovely half term when it arrives. Thank you very much.
Thank you, everybody. Sorry, just to kind of steal James's thunder very quickly. Just to finish off, obviously, as ever, James has thanked everybody except himself, because that'd be poor form to stand up here and thank himself, although he did allude to himself a few times, obviously, during that, as is his way. But to get to this point, obviously, takes a huge amount of drive and commitment and passion, and James has got that in spades. And actually, you know, this wouldn't be happening now without James and him pushing everything forward. So I think it's only right that we thank James as well for everything that he's done so far. And thank you ever so much for coming. I hope you enjoy the rest of the afternoon. Thank you.